speak about four principles of ascension. What is ascension to you? Is that what we spoke about, enlightenment? So it's sort of a goal. And then I get curious about these four principles.
So I wrote the four principles of ascension because they are the primary things that will allow us to grow to a higher level of consciousness. Um, and the first one is that you will die. So accepting the fact that will die, but that it's not the end, and changing your relationship with death in that manner will free you. Okay. Because in a lot of ways, we don't take certain chances. We don't do certain things. As long as you live that good life, you are coming back. If you live a bad life, you're coming back. It's just, you're not going to like it. But either way, understand and accept the fact that this will come to an end. So that in and of itself will make you do things, or hopefully inspire you to do things that you may not do otherwise. Take a chance. Be who you want to be. Don't be the person that you were told you had to be. Don't find happiness in what your parents told you happiness is if you don't agree with that. If your version of happiness is different, do it. Just do it. So change that relationship with death. It's not final. Okay. And the second one is set yourself free. Adds on to the first, right? So you set yourself free by getting rid of the ego and stop living by what the ego dictates for you to do or be or act, and start living from a place of awareness. That's your highest level of consciousness, is your awareness. And it's because we're aware that we're having a thought or an emotion. And if you're aware that you're having a thought or an emotion, guess what? You can change them. So it doesn't have to be the way the ego dictates it. If somebody cuts you off, you don't have to get angry. That's your choice. But we don't think it's a choice. We just think that, what do you mean? He nearly killed me. I have to get angry. No, you don't. No, you don't. My wife drives me crazy. I've got to go get a drink. No, you don't. Nobody makes you anything. So free yourself and find yourself. When I tell people that they are not their ego and that chitter chatter in your brain is not you, you're they're so relieved. And when I tell them that the real you is up there, all you have to do is find the real you and pull it towards you, because your higher self is connected to the collective. That is you. That's the real you. But you're not letting the real you come through because you're bombarded with the yesterday, with the ego. So, number two is to set yourself free. Number three adds on to number two. Good and bad is a choice. Okay. People will say, well, what were the best moments of your life? Right. My answer would be my traumas, my worst days on this earth, because that's when I learned something. That's when I showed my character. That's when I showed who I was. That's when I learned the most about reality. I didn't learn the most about reality when something was given to me. I learned the most about reality when I was beaten within an inch of my life. That's when I learned. I took more away from that than I ever would take away from having a great day. So it's the traumas, the tragedies that we take away the most from, and we learn the most. Decide what's good and bad in your life. You could say, oh, I got COVID and it was terrible. And I was in my house and we had a lockdown. Maybe you didn't get COVID. Maybe you just in lockdown. Or you can say, during the lockdown, I took a class on this and I got certified in this. Or became closer to my family. Or, there's always silver linings, but you have to look at it that way. You have to see it that way. Because if you only see the negative, you're going to be miserable, because the negative is going to be there. So is the positive. Which one you look at is going to be up to you. So take the good things and start to see the good things. even in the tragedies, even in the traumas, try to find those good things. Um, and the last one, four, the biggest one, you are God. God is not a separate entity that judges you. God is the universal collective, right? You're a part of that collective. I'm a part of it. Everybody watching this is a part of the collective. We all make up the entity that is God. So you can create, you can make your life. This is why the law of attraction works. One of the reasons you can create your life, you can attract it to you. You don't have to go out and fight and fight and fight. You can make things come to you. And you have the power to change others' lives in a good way. Yes, you could do it in a bad way, but don't do it in a bad way. Because, like I just said, karma transcends. So, as a part of this reality, we are all a part of this collective. And as such, we can all come together and reach a tipping point where we go towards good as a society, or we can all start to go towards bad. And that choice is within each and every one of us because we all make up that entity. We are all a part of God. Jesus told us, you're a part of God, God is a part of you. And a version of that is in every religion. So if they all know that, then you must be a part of God. And as such, you have to start acting like one.
This was very inspiring, I gotta say. I feel like my vibration is just raising and raising. That was beautiful, really profound. Uh
Thank you.
yeah, and you're so right. It resonates so much that we have the choice. Like often in my life, I've been thinking that, oh, there's a destiny there. So am I supposed to go this path or that path? And this must be the wrong path and that must be the right, or is that the right or that the wrong? Or and then also like when it comes to relationships, will this last? Is this my soulmate? And then I've noticed that I have the choice. We have the choice together. The future is not set in stone, even though there's a future life there, even though the future is happening right now, which is mind boggling. And I don't understand how they fit together, that there is a destiny, and at the same time, I have my free will and I have the choice. But from a higher perspective, I think I will understand it. But from my perspective, I cannot understand it.
Well, it's definitely not an overnight grasp, but it's something that, like you said, what if I choose this? What if I choose that? Well, what if I told you they're both right? Because
Mhm.
whatever the outcome is, you're going to have the good experience as long as you choose it. Because even if the experience is bad, you can take away the good and say, well, yeah, this was terrible, but I learned so much from it. I'm not going to do this again. And I'm going to teach this to my kids so they don't repeat what I did. There's always that positivity there. And then you go back and you do the other one. You're not limited, you're limitless.
And I think it's so important, one of the principles, the good and bad, that you actually don't linger in the negative emotions. And it's not the same as, oh, I got to think positively all the time, because I had a lot of resistance towards that a time in my process. But then I realized that I also need not to feed the negativity. There's one thing to feel the feeling, but I cannot continue feeling the feeling and then becoming more and more heavy and depressed, and then I just stay there.
Perfect. That's exactly right. We're still going to experience the negative emotion, but let it go.
Right.
Let it go. Don't let it control you. Let's say that driver cuts you off and you get angry.
Mhm.
Get angry, okay? Experience the anger. Don't be the anger. Experience it and then let it go. Otherwise, you hold on to it, right? And then you drive to work and you say, "You're never going to believe what this guy did to me." And you're telling it. And then you go home and you say, "You're never going to believe this guy that cut me off today." And then you're going to tell somebody else. And you're just brewing and brewing, and you're just going to bring more of that to you
Mm.
because you're staying in it too long. Let it go. let it
Mm.
go. Some things take longer than others, right? Tragedies, serious tragedies, a loss of a loved one, that's going to take a while to dissipate. Okay. It's not the same as getting cut off, but there are
Right.
a lot of little things that we can let go very quickly of.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.
Ina, letho, resto maliata falia, tanshavra leto.